Hey everybody, welcome back to HemingwayLand.com, your source for quality, affordable land in the state of New Mexico. We got a new property today that I think is really going to appeal to a certain subset of people who come to the website a lot. All you guys out there who are looking to live off-grid, all you preppers, all you people who want to live in a place where no one's going to tell you what you can and cannot do with your land, quote-unquote, this one I think is going to be ideal for you. It's in a nice forested area, it's in a nice, very private and secluded area, and it's really sandwiched between a lot of great national and state parks and just general sights to see. And in addition, as you can see from the headline, it comes with a free RV truck and tool shed. More about that later in the video. Whatever the case, let's get to particulars. This property is reference number CBNM-0001E like Echo. It's located in Cibola County, New Mexico, in the northwest part of the state. This is 5 acres in the Tierra Verde subdivision. We have never before listed property in Tierra Verde. So happy to be doing that for the first time. And as you saw up top, these 5 acres are priced at $5,900. And let me emphasize again, for $5,900, you're not only buying the property, but also you get a free RV, truck, and a tool shed. More about that to follow. By the way, $5,900 for 5 acres in this subdivision is a really good price. And one of my competition actually has a 5 acre out there for about $2,000 more. I won't say who it is, but if you do a little Googling on Land and Farm or Land Watch, a little searching there, you should be able to figure it out. Quick thing before I bring this up on a map. Down here at the bottom of the listing page, we have, as always, the photo gallery. We're going to have a drone video up, but we've got a new thing that we're doing with just this property. It's going to be driving directions, and I'm going to have a video here where I'm going to speak about the specific driving directions out to the property, as well as we have maps and images of what you will see en route to the property. This is very detailed because this is not a property that's going to be intuitive to find. It's not going to be like, oh, at the corner of Lincoln and Washington, that's where the property is. It's not going to be easy, number one. And number two, Google Maps is going to give you a route that is not the best route. So we've got a better route. We're going to encourage you to take a look at this, particularly if you're interested in buying or just scouting the property. Highly encourage you to review that material. With all that said, let's pull this up on a map, show you guys exactly where this is. As with all of our listings, come here, click the GPS coordinates, and then boom, up on Google Maps it shall appear. So let's go to map view first, pull back a little bit, and talk about where this is on planet New Mexico. So as noted, the property is located here in northwest New Mexico. It's roughly about 100 miles west of Albuquerque. I think it's like 80 miles west of Albuquerque. Out here in Cibola County. It sits just south of the 53. In close proximity is the town of Rama and the town of Grants over here. Now, as the crow flies, I think they're about 25 miles in each direction. That being said, I think it's going to be a little easier to get into Grants than into nearby Rama because you kind of have to go up and over to do that. That being said, just to kind of right-click and measure distance and show you guys, roughly about 25 miles as the crow flies. So maybe it's a 30-minute drive here along the 53, something like that. But the point is, relatively easy access to groceries and supplies, things like that. And of course, over here, Grants is a much bigger town than Rama, so you're going to have access to things like a Super Walmart, a Home Depot, so on and so forth. Additionally, it should be noted that the property sits in very close proximity to the El Morro National Monument, the El Malpais National Monument, the National Conservation Area, the Chain of Craters Wilderness Study Area, and about 3 other national parks that are in this area. All really pretty, all great sights to see, all offering plenty of opportunities for camping, hiking, so on and so forth. Additionally, it should be noted that the Rama Reservoir is over here for some fishing, or, guys, you also have Blue Water Lake State Park. So if you make your way up here to the 53 and then to the 5750 612, whatever the hell it is, you can make your way out here to Blue Water State Park, which is a really, really nice state park that, again, has a lot of good opportunities for fishing, boating, so on and so forth. Additionally, it should also be noted that this giant green thing that you see here is the Cibola National Forest. So you're going to have easy access from this property into the Cibola National Forest, where, of course, you can go hunting for anything from elk to mule deer to wild turkey to, I believe, some species of bear. It should be noted, I don't want to give you guys the impression that you can go hunting in national monument areas or conservation areas. It should be obvious you cannot do that. Talk to the New Mexico Department of Game and Fish about getting a license, about where exactly in this region you can hunt, but most of it you can hunt in is the point. So one of the things that I didn't mention in the sort of opening of this video is I also think this is a good property as far as just a hunting cabin or a staging area of some sort. So, you sleep here overnight, and then you and the guys go in different directions. You meet up here at the end of the day where you've got the hunting cabin, or you can simply be RVing on the property. Blah, blah, blah. With all that said, let's go back to satellite view and let's talk about this subdivision. So the Tierra Verde subdivision, a little hard to define, but it's about 4,500 acres. It sits right about here. Let's put it here. And this particular property sits in Unit 6. This is a nice forested lot. It should be noted that this forested lot has a sort of slope to it. From the southwest to the northeast, it kind of slopes upward. Fortunately, the road access that has been carved out here is down here at the more flat and buildable part. Now, let's actually go to the photo gallery here for a second. So down here on the listing page, we have, first off, we have a representation on a Google Earth representation of the exact size, shape, location of this property. It should be noted all of this subdivision have legal easements, legal access to the properties. If you were to look at the plat map, which I'll bring up here, this is the zoomed in version of it, you'll see that, you know, theoretically there's a legal easement right along here. There should be roads like this all throughout. There's not really. It's more like dirt roads that you get to the property on. That being said, there are legal easements to the property. Whatever the case, getting back to the terrain of the property. So, as noted, this is the land right here. The more flat and buildable parts are located in the southwest corner of it. As noted, it slopes a little bit up to the northeast as you go on the property. But one of the things that I want to mention is that the nice thing about Tierra Verde is, so first off, you're in Cibola County, where Cibola County has no sort of formal zoning regulations, and what that means is they generally defer to the subdivisions and to whatever covenants and restrictions are applied within those subdivisions. Now, fortunately, Tierra Verde doesn't really have any covenants and restrictions. Let me just be clear about this. When the area was subdivided, chopped up back in the 70s, they created covenants and restrictions, but if you read through them, what you'll see is that they were set to sunset in about 20 years, so around the mid-90s. And at that time, it was then left up to property owners to sort of vote on what they wanted to enforce. And of course, anybody who's living out here didn't want any rules or restrictions. So really nothing was renewed, basically. Unit 1 of Tierra Verde, my understanding, has covenants and restrictions. The other units 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 do not. So what you'll see out here, particularly if you come back to the map, is if you kind of fish around the area, you'll see a lot of sort of RVs parked out here, trailers, mobile homes, things like that. That's the sort of thing that you don't find in areas that have, you know, these sort of onerous restrictions. This looks like a little kind of cabin down here, maybe. I don't know. But point being, it seems like there's a lot of people who are living off the grid out here, living maybe kind of sparse lifestyles. But point being is that they don't have to answer to anybody, and that does tend to appeal to a lot of people. I should also mention that because there is no active property owners association out here, there are also no additional fees throughout the year. So aside from property taxes that you're paying to Cibola County, you're not going to have any additional fees. Now, the good and the bad of that is that, oh, hey, no extra money. Great, I get to save money. The bad of that is that there's nobody maintaining the roads for you. So you're going to see these roads are, you know, well maintained. They're drivable, but in certain weather conditions, they can be a little inaccessible or a little challenging. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, with all that said, I just want to point something out to you here. So we have some photos of what I was talking about earlier, which are, these are some things that have been abandoned on the property. Now, you've got an RV, you've got a truck, you've got a tool shed here, and you've got a wheelbarrow. As has been noted in previous videos, Hemingway Land buys these properties as is, and we sell these properties as is. So what that means is, once you give us the whatever $5,900 plus $150 dock prep fee for this property, all of these things become yours. Now, some of you will be watching this saying, "Oh my God, why would I want to buy a property with a bunch of junk on it?" I completely understand that perspective. There are, however, other people out there, these MacGyver types, who you give them a stick of chewing gum and a couple magnets and they can make an explosive device. So I think for those people, and I think those people are going to be the types who are most interested in this property, this much hardware, this much, you know, vehicles that you can potentially restore and resell, you know, these are going to become yours. Additionally, there's some, you know, you got the wheelbarrow here, you've got some tools in the tool shed. All of that is going to be yours. Yeah, so I do think there are people out there who find value in this. I really don't know what I should be pricing land on that has a free RV or a truck or whatever. Our photographer speculated that these two vehicles are most likely inoperable. That's probably the case, but you never know what kind of hidden treasures you're going to find in these things. So just an FYI, guys, that is on the property. It does come with the property. Of course, this is 5 acres of land. 5 acres is really big, and these do not occupy much space on the property. So, you know, if you're worried about how much junk is going to be laying around here, this is it. This is it, and it's not taking up a lot of space. So, blah, blah, blah. Additionally, with all that said, I just want to let you guys know we're also going to have a drone video uploaded down here after I'm done making this video. We'll upload both the drone video as well as the driving directions video out to the property, et cetera, et cetera. Now, a couple things I want to make you guys aware of. Number one, Continental Divide Electric Cooperative is the local utility that provides power to this region. If you bring up the map here and you try to find power or utilities servicing homes in this area, you'll find a couple of them, okay? That being said, the nearest to the property that I have found is, number one, down here, this little cabin that I pointed out earlier. I don't really see any power poles sticking up here, maybe some, but I don't think that's it. So what I would speculate is that the closest power is actually up here. This little curve in the road, there's some power lines right here that run this way, sort of northwest to southeast throughout the subdivision. That is most likely the nearest power. So if we right-click and measure distance, what you're going to see is from there to the property, 2,000 feet, roughly half a mile, something like that, to the nearest utility. Point being, you could call Continental Electric Divide Cooperative, whatever it's called, and discuss with them about getting power extended out to the property. My educated guess here is that solar is going to be a far easier and more affordable alternative for a property like this. You know, but additionally, this may not be the type of property that you're going to build on. As I said earlier, there's no real zoning regs out here. So notice I abbreviated the word regulations. I said regs because I'm very cool and hip. So there's no zoning regs out here. So you can come out here and you can build if you like, or you can just have this as a place where you bring your truck, you bring your RV, you go camping, et cetera, et cetera. So maybe hooking up to local utilities is not a major concern to you, and maybe solar or bringing in some kind of generator, I don't know, is going to be something that's a lot easier, et cetera. It should also be noted, pointed out earlier, that it sits in very close proximity to the Cibola National Forest, really right on the edge of it. If you want to contact New Mexico Game and Fish, they're going to be the best people that you can speak to about, you know, hunting permits, getting a hunting license out here in New Mexico, et cetera, et cetera. Now, additionally, a couple other links I just want to make you guys aware of. Down here in our county contact information, Cibola County will probably not be of much assistance to you in telling you what you can and cannot do out there. But the Tierra Verde ranchettes, they have their own website, number one. There's a Facebook page, Facebook group. And then this is an FAQ that is pulled from the ranchettes page. So first, let me just bring up this one and show you guys this website. So first thing, this website does not get updated often if it has been updated in years. They do have some helpful information on here. They have some pics. They have the toolkit page is the most helpful. It'll show you some of these, you know, restrictive covenants that only apply to Unit 1, things like that. They've also got some maps of the local state parks that are in that region, et cetera, et cetera. They have they have a links page with some links. Most of these are dead. They've got an FAQ page. This is the thing that I'm also linking to down here, the Tierra Verde FAQ. So if you click on that, it'll bring up this, you know, question and answer page. I'm going to say most of these are fairly current pieces of information or still apply. They mentioned survey pins. I've seen this on some areas of Tierra Verde, which is that the whole thing was staked and surveyed back in the 70s. So, you know, it says here that Unit 6 has rebar survey pins. Our photographer didn't see that when he was out there. Of course, he is not an expert on finding those. So perhaps the property has already, or those stakes are still in place, but I'm not selling the property based on that. So this may be something where you'll want to get a survey at some point, particularly if you build, particularly if you put up a fence, etc. Though, who knows, they may still be out there, overgrown, but you may be able to find them. It's really kind of a crapshoot with these old subdivisions, FYI. Additionally, we also have a link to the Tierra Verde Ranchettes Facebook page where you can reach out and talk to some other owners of land out there. You can ask questions, etc. This also does not seem to get updated very often. It doesn't seem like it's been touched really for quite a few years. I think 2012 is the last update here, around Christmas of 2012. That being said, they do, you know, have some helpful pieces of information I found just by kind of reading through this. So that may also be another good resource for you. blah, blah, blah. And of course, we also have links to the local electric company, as well as well drilling information here through the Office of the State Engineer. Anybody who's building a residential or commercial well, drilling for a residential or commercial well in the state of New Mexico, of course, contact these people to get a permit, etc., etc. You should also note, as always, we recommend if anybody is serious about building a well on their property, talk to local vendors, ask them about, what is it going to cost realistically in Tierra Verde to get water service on a property. How far down do I have to drill? What does it cost me on a price per foot basis? So on and so forth. With all that said, I will wrap up just by saying that this is property we closed on through Quest Title. So we purchased title insurance with this. The title is insured, so we will be providing a warranty deed to anyone who elects to purchase this. All right, so with all that said, guys, if you do want to purchase this property, as well as the free RV, truck, and tool shed, just come here, click the Buy Now button. It's going to bring up this secure checkout page. Quick thing, if you don't have a credit card that can accommodate this kind of number, or if this is outside your normal spending patterns and your credit card company is probably going to flag it as a fraudulent transaction, it's not actually you buying it. If you want to reach out to us, support@hemingwayland.com or give us a call, 702-919-7170. We will work with you on whatever your debit or credit card limits are in a 24-hour period. If you need to do 6 $1,000 checkouts or whatever, we can make that happen, 3 $2,000 checkouts, etc. But pretending for 2 seconds that you do have a credit card that can accommodate this, just fill out this form, legal name or names for deed, a couple other things, as well as the tax address. Where is Cibola County going to send your yearly tax bill? Agree to the terms of service and click the next button. And on the next page, we're going to get your credit and debit card information. We are the owners of this property, so once you give us the money, as far as we are concerned, you are the owner. That being said, the process goes a little something like this. We're going to write up a new deed. I'm going to email it to you within 24 hours along with some other supplemental documentation. Once you approve the deed, once you tell us, yes, we spelled your name right, got the right address, things like that, we're going to autograph it, notarize it, mail it off to the county to be recorded, and the county will then forward the recorded version on to you. So from start to finish, it's about 3 weeks before you will have that document in your hands. That being said, again, as far as we're concerned, you give us the money, you're the new owner, so you can begin going out there camping, setting up, building, do whatever you want. Go check out the new RV, truck, and tool shed that you own, etc., etc. Anyway, with all that said, as noted earlier, if you guys have any questions, shoot us an email, support@hemingwayland.com. Give us a call, 702-919-7170, or just leave a comment here on the YouTube. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you in the next video.